Hello and welcome to the Healthy Living Doesn't Have to Suck podcast. My name is Melissa Allen, and I'm a double board certified lifestyle medicine coach who's dedicated to helping people drop the struggle around creating a healthy lifestyle that lasts. Join me for solo episodes and casual conversations with guest experts in the industry to discuss creating mindset and behavior changes that help you say hello to healthy living made easy, enjoyable, and empowering. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode, Changemakers. I am going to do a little bit of a quickie episode today because a few weeks ago I had an event at the Winter Park Library and it was so much fun. My interns, shout out Rihanna and Christine, they totally helped me out with just pulling people in, but it also gave me an opportunity to present in person for the first time in a very long time in terms of like to an audience that I didn't already know. And in the event, I wanted to do an activity and make it a little bit like a workshop because I did read a little segment from the book and it was all about sharing kind of where I'm finding myself and why it was hard to publish the book at the time. And honestly, still find it difficult admitting like where I'm starting out right now. I had been hopeful that I would have been able to play the catch-up game a little bit, to be honest, and get myself to a point where I was starting to like get in a groove. And then the end of 2023 happened and it just totally threw me for a loop. So I feel like, I'm just having to start again and pick up not even where I left off, but just trying to figure out like, where the hell am I now? And what the fuck do I do next? So with that, I wanted to share the wellness wheel activity because this is such a helpful tool for just checking in with yourself and really giving yourself that opportunity to evaluate kind of like what parts of your life do you feel are going well right now and what parts of your life do you maybe want to start making more positive changes to. So I have this lovely little printout. If you're watching YouTube, oh gosh, I'm going to have to be like dodging the sunlight soon. But on this wheel, and if you want to have the download for yourself, head to healthylivingdoesn'thavetosuck.com/wellness, and it will take you to this freebie page where you'll get the wellness wheel. It has the instructions on top, which I'll walk us through on this episode today, as well as some reflection prompts and setting your SMART goal. So it's a really great way to just kind of check in with how things are going and kind of reevaluating where your priorities are at right now based on whatever your life circumstances might be. I love revisiting this tool and I really don't use it in like a judgy form. I really try to encourage people to approach it with an attitude of curiosity to say like, okay, like how satisfied am I in these life areas? And for the ones that are really important to you, that maybe those satisfaction scores aren't as high as you would like them to be, that gives you an opportunity to kind of say, I didn't realize that there was such a mismatch here. Maybe I need to shift my focus to help kind of support this life area a bit better. Okay, all of that being said, that's a little bit of a background about the activity itself. And I do want to kind of walk you through almost like this guided reflection practice, give you an opportunity if you're somewhere safe that you're not driving or anything like that, you can feel free to make this almost like a meditative kind of practice and just really allow yourself that chance to reflect with compassion and figure out where would you like to start making more positive changes right now. Okay, so I'll just read the instructions for you. I kind of mentioned a little bit about how this activity goes, but it allows you the opportunity to take a compassionate look in the metaphorical mirror and explore your satisfaction on a scale of 1, which is low satisfaction, to 10, which is high satisfaction. It's like the most satisfied that you could possibly be, with different life areas by shading in the number on each segment. So you'll see on the wheel, if you're watching this, but if not, when you download it, you'll see it The inner part of the circle near the bullseye, that represents a 1, and then it works its way out to the outer part of the circle, which reflects a 10. So you kind of shade these in, gives you an opportunity to have a visual of those satisfaction levels. And I've included a few suggestions. So in this episode, I figured I would walk us through the traditional 8 dimensions of wellness. And those include physical, intellectual, emotional, social, spiritual, occupational, financial, and environmental. So those are the traditional 8 dimensions of wellness that are used. And we'll just walk you through an opportunity to reflect on each of those for yourself today. So for the first one, again, we're looking at these life areas as a whole. So when you're looking at physical, your life satisfaction with the area of physical well-being, physical wellness, what does that look like for you? So physical can include things like your nutrition, your sleep, your physical activity, your health condition, all of those different things. Physical wellness. And then intellectual. So thinking about, do you have enough intellectual stimulation at the moment? Are there things that you maybe used to do that you don't do anymore? Sudoku puzzles, crosswords. For me, continuing education is where I get my intellectual stimulation. Emotional wellness. So how satisfied are you with your emotional wellness right now? Are you going to your therapy sessions? Do you have a support person that you're able to reach out to? Social wellness. How satisfied are you with your social wellness right now? Do you have friends that you connect with on a regular basis? Do you spend meaningful time with family members that you enjoy being around? Spiritual wellness. And this doesn't refer to religion necessarily. If religion is something that's important to you, then it can absolutely be reflected in this life area. But spiritual more so relates to feeling connected to something bigger than yourself, whether that's your purpose or a cause, or if you are a religious person, then, whoever your higher being entity is, or even just thinking about the universe in general. Occupational wellness. How's your job going? Are you satisfied? Are you fulfilled? Or how satisfied are you with your current occupational wellness? Financial wellness. Ooh, if y'all need help with this one, make sure to go back and listen to our episode with Erica Dox Martinez. She talks about all things financial wellness. But what is your level of satisfaction right now with your financial wellness? And then last but certainly not least, environmental wellness. How satisfied are you with your different environments in your life? Your home environment, work environment, things like that. Your engagement in environmentally friendly initiatives. That can be one too. So those are the traditional 8 dimensions of wellness, but I include in the handout that there's other areas that you could even segment these out to. So for your social wellness, for example, if you want to kind of break that up into your friendships and your intimacy with your partner and your parenting, those are all relationship based, which could fall under social. So you also have the opportunity to kind of flex this to fit whatever is most important to you at this moment. If you notice that there's a life area, as we were going through this reflection activity together through the 8 traditional dimensions of wellness, and there was one that really stuck out to you where you were like, whoa, there are a lot of things that I need to better support this area of wellness for myself and increase that level of satisfaction. For me, that would include financial. So I would even probably break that one down into having savings and paying off debt and things like that, where, there's different kind of subsections of that category that I would want to dive a little bit deeper into as well. So you have flexibility. I always like to say with these tools, use them as a framework. But again, this is all about finding what works best for you. So this may be a really helpful tool just with the traditional 8 dimensions for you to check in on. But there also may be times where you kind of want to flex it and modify it to suit whatever's going on in your life. Okay, so once you've done your lovely coloring in your levels of satisfaction, or even just identifying what those levels of satisfaction are in the first place, the first reflection question I want to ask is, what did you notice from that activity? What did you notice? So, was there anything that surprised you, or what stood out to you during that activity? I think something that often surprises me is forgetting or not recognizing how well things are going in some life areas where I'm really like, oh my gosh, things are really good in this right now. And you just don't have that moment of appreciation until engaging in a reflection activity like this. So that's something that usually surprises me or stands out. Other times there will be like a life area that I'm totally neglecting. And then I'm like, ooh, okay, Melissa, we got to get our shit together for this one. So that's also something that I'll, sometimes be surprised by. So I'm just sharing these to hopefully help normalize that, if there are significant changes you want to make, that's okay. Like, you're not alone in that. So part of this is finding our starting point on our journey, the "you are here" sticker, as I refer to it in the book. So that's all part of this process. And that's where this activity comes from. Okay, after you've reflected on like what you noticed and what kind of stood out to you, then you move on to selecting a life area to focus on. So which of those pieces of the wellness pie do we want to focus our energy and attention on? So choosing a life area to focus on and picking only one, because a lot of times we'll want to try to pick all of the things that we want to work on and improve. That gets overwhelming. It's not the most sustainable approach. So do your best to pick one. And on that scale of 1 to 10, again, 1 being low, 10 being high, how important is this life area? How important is that life area to you? Chances are it's going to be towards the higher end of the scale. And then what is important to you about that life area? And why is it so important for you to start making positive changes in that life area? And digging a little bit deeper into that is what's going to help us better identify our why, that motivator behind making the change, which when we're feeling a little low and defeated and maybe like we don't want to do good things right now, we can tap back into that importance of why we're working on this in the first place. So having that importance, that meaning behind your desire to make positive changes in this life area is very important. Okay, then when you have that life area and you've connected to the importance behind it, why it's important for you to make positive changes, I want to invite you to think about, what would a rating of a 10 look like in this area? What does that satisfaction level 10 look like for you? And thinking about that, you think about what you're doing, who you're with, really just creating that ideal picture of wellness in that life area. Because what that's going to do is it's going to allow us an opportunity to identify specific behaviors that will help us to move that needle closer towards that level 10. Right? Pretty cool. So once you've reflected on that and you've identified some of the different behaviors that would reflect a level 10 in this life area, that's when we start setting our SMART goal. So out of those behaviors that you identified, what specific behavior do you want to focus on? That's the first letter in our SMART goal, right? Specific. So what specific behavior or action do you want to focus on? And then M, measurable. So how are you going to measure your progress for that specific behavior? Achievable. Do you have the resources that you need to succeed, or are there some things that you need to add in to your game plan to help support you in making this goal more achievable? And switching it up a little bit for this one, usually I say realistic for, oh my gosh, Jackie's back here just like causing mayhem. He hates when the doors are closed. Sorry, Jackie, we're almost done. Hang in there. But with this activity, I wanted to use R as relevant. And the reason for that is because it's going to help remind you of that importance behind the goal. So For relevant, the question that you ask yourself, what is important to you about this goal? How will this goal improve your life? So what is relevant about working on this goal for your overall picture of how you want your life to look? And then finally, T, time bound. So how long will you commit to this goal, or when will you start it? How often will you do it? All of those things to consider that are time related. After you have your SMART goal, you've walked yourself through those prompts, you've written them down, you have your action plan, then I want you to do another reflection. On a scale of 1 to 10, again, 1 is low, 10 is high. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this goal to you? Also, how confident are you in accomplishing this goal, that you can accomplish this goal? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to accomplish this goal? So again, those 3 reflection prompts for that last scale of 1 to 10 reflection and check-in is, how important is this goal to you? How confident do you feel that you can accomplish this goal? And how motivated are you to accomplish this goal? Then you write out your full SMART goal, and there you have it. You've identified something important for you to start working on making changes, and come up with that SMART goal and reflected on all of these things that are going to help support you in reaching that goal. So here you go, your wellness wheel. I hope this activity was helpful for you. And again, this is a sneak peek from the book. So this is in the first chapter. You are here because that's where we need to figure out. We got to figure out where we're starting in order to figure out where we want to go. That's going to give us our start line and our finish line. And then our goals are those little mile markers along the way that help us to recognize when we're in the right direction or doing the right things and when we may be a little off course, and then we can course correct. There we go. All right, y'all. I think Jackie's had enough. That is going to do it for our episode today. I hope you enjoyed this quickie episode. And remember, if you want this copy of the Wellness Wheel handouts for yourself with those same reflection questions, then head to healthylivingdoesn'thavetosuck.com/wellness and you can get your copy of these handouts today. If you did enjoy this episode, it would help your girl out if you could leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. And what also helps is subscribing and rating. So subscribe, rate, and review. Those are all truly appreciated. And I can't wait to hear how this works for you. If you end up using this as a tool, I would love to hear how this helped you or what you noticed during this activity. So always feel free to share those reflections and insights with me by emailing me at info@melissawithany.com or hitting me up on Instagram. Feel free to tag me at my Melissa with a Y account or at Healthy Living Doesn't Have to Suck. I would love to see what really stuck with you from this episode today. And plus, if you share it, maybe somebody else out there who needs to hear this will love to take a listen and participate in this Wellness Wheel activity. All of this is in the show notes for you. And thank you so much, Changemakers, for spending your time with me today. And until next time, make sure that you keep it real and go kick some ass with your goals, all right? All right, sounds good. Take care, y'all. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, y'all. As always, remember, this is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you enjoyed this episode of the show, please remember to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platforms.